Hi, this is Lisa Steinberg. I'm with Starry Constellation Magazine. I'm pleasure to be joined by all three of you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
Oh my goodness, this movie
Thank
Pools
you.
is this like wild, uninhibited, rambunctious, chaotic ride, both for the
much.
characters and the audience. What do you think it is that the lens and the audience as we watch kind of will connect with and relate to the most?
I think for our audience, what people are relating to the most is that sense of like kind of not having it all figured out and this pressure to pretend that you do. And I think what they're relating to is like, these characters' journeys sort of resolving in uncertainty, but at least like peace in where they're at and what they want and who they are. I think that it's, I don't know, it's a, maybe Michael can speak more to that as well, but I don't know. I think people relate to that place in life, of, where you're in college or early 20s where you kind of like feel a lot of pressure but don't know what you want to do. And, people are sort of refreshed to hear a perspective about just like ceasing to worry about the future so much and freeing themselves up to kind of, be who they want to be right now.
Yeah, I think it comes down to I feel like it with so many of the characters in the movie as a whole, living life on your terms. And that's so hard for so many people to do, especially because a lot of people aren't privileged enough to be in a position where it's even fathomable that you could do it. But that's a lot of what I think this movie is inspiring, no matter where you are, who you are, try to find what makes you happy and don't be afraid to go for it.
The film, like we talk about, does focus on this wild night, but beyond that, like you're speaking about, there are these layers that deal with grief, that deal with identity. You know, what do you think it is about a pool, like a body of water, that kind of offers this washing and cleansing and rebirth in a sense, in a way? It's got this clarity and cleanliness at the same time, the duality that we get to see within the movie.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
really,
oh, go ahead. Sorry. You go
sorry.
first, Francesca. Yeah.
I think it's really amazing that we see these characters go through such beautiful transformations, and each one really comes out of the film a completely different person. Um, and yeah, that feeling of like water being so cleansing, and to see Kennedy really going through it and releasing her emotions, it's just very like cathartic. And I think it's definitely a testament to Sam's writing that he could create such beautiful, intricate humans that feel very real, and when we're acting with each other, we didn't feel like it was that contrived and like on a paper. It felt like just talking to a human. And I really think Sam's just great at facilitating that.
Thank you. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of like baptismal sort of symbolism with a pool, with any sort of body of water. And they're even explicit about it. It's sort of it's a joke within the movie, but I think ultimately that is what Kennedy's seeking in, this pool hopping adventure. She's seeking some kind of renewal and catharsis and to come to some sort of spiritual realization and reconnection with her father through this whole journey. And it starts out as a journey that you think is just for fun, but then you realize that the pools are, symbolic of something much deeper. Oh,
It's
can you
really,
guys hear me? Oh, yeah.
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
It's just really beautifully well done because while there are these great like moments of humor and identity and like figuring out for yourself while they're figuring out themselves at the same time, it also offers these really great poignant humor balances to it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to maybe
Mhm.
talk more directly, I guess, to Francesca and Michael. How did you kind of construct these great beats that we get from script to screen with balancing that humor, that poignant, and without those poignant themes that we get within the film.
Yeah. Can you go?
If you want to go, hit it.
Okay. Um, I would just say that with Shane, like it's so real to being a 17-year-old. Sorry, fuck, I keep saying 17, 21-year-old girl. I don't know why. And yeah, that transformation that she goes through of being kind of a wallflower and then putting herself out there to a boy. And I think that's really exciting. But then also, she has that downfall and kind of finds her quiet inner strength. And for me, it's like watching a flower bloom. And I just think it's like really beautiful. And it was so much fun to play those things. And, like I said earlier, working with someone like Odessa, it just doesn't feel like I'm acting. It feels like I'm just kind of being there and feeling whatever she's going through and what I'm going through, and the words do the work, which is the best way to write a script. And that's the way that Sam's done it. Um, yeah, Michael, what's up?
Yeah, I think I think that a lot of it comes down to the writing, of course, and then also how each actor sees their own lives. And for me, it was very easy, to be honest, to balance that tone because I think everything in life, I take everything serious, but also everything's such a joke. The fact that we're being interviewed right now for a movie we're in that's in theaters is a joke. Everything about this life is hilarious, that anything works out ever. So that's how I operate my life, and that's how I operate it on camera. Anything I'm doing, what's the funniest thing about this moment? What's the best story about it? From riding an AC machine at the beginning of the movie to inspiring a girl to live her life to the fullest when you meet her breaking into a house, right? Like there's humor in everything. So no matter how deep or these real moments where I find out about the watch, and without spoiling anything at the end of the movie. Um, it's an ebb and flow between, okay, let's just have some fun and be funny, but let's get to what actually matters in life. And the script does a good job balancing that. So it made our jobs easier.
Yeah.
Or
Lisa, oh,
yes,
I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite moment in the film?
uh, it's just so wild. Like it's so like there's so many moments that it's hard to choose. It's just there's I resonated with like this moment. I resonated with the fact that I don't have a great relationship with my parents at the same time. Like there's parts of each character that I find like I'm, like relating to, like reconciling how I feel about my family, reconciling who I am as a
Mm.
more, I'm not in college, but, like I did go to college and have, certain experiences of my own that feel reflective and resonate. So,
Yeah, that's
um,
cool. I think it's such a good picture of college, this film.
yes, I agree. Like not knowing, college is about not knowing who you are, but finding yourself, or finding at least some sort of footing in a way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And to have I've experienced that myself, and going through such formative years. Like you go from like being a child of, you're going through elementary school and middle school, all that, like your young adulthood, and then suddenly you're supposed to like get up and take care of yourself, go to a class by yourself, feed yourself, like you're supposed to be like
Yeah,
magically you're an adult. And 18 doesn't mean you know who you are, doesn't mean like through college that you can have the time to figure it all out, but it gives you a starting block in a way.
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I think back to your first question, people resonate with the idea that like life is not linear and we shouldn't expect it to be. It's not everything is so linear. Grief is a very non-linear thing to deal with.
Right.
Growing up, coming of age, like figuring out who you are. None of these things are like linear, straightforward processes, and that's okay, and coming to terms with that, you're going to be a lot happier and, a lot truer to yourself if you can allow yourself to be in the moment and, experience that uncertainty with, grace and peace.
I think college life is a lot like that. It's just like being in the moment, because you don't know what's coming next, and you have that beats of like, okay, whatever's gonna happen to me is gonna happen to me. I'm here and I'm in the now. When you become an adult, you're like, oh crap, I have to plan for this. Like, how am I gonna pay for this? Like, when you're in college, you just have that like brief moment of time that you kind of just can be whatever you want whenever you want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.